Alright, here we go. Tour of Croatia Stage 2. This is one of the most technical, crazy finishes I think I've ever seen. So we've got Bardiani's GSF on the front, leading it out. They've got about 5 or 6 guys. We've got Inzolas in the pack. We've got an absolute crazy thing. It got neutralised about 35k to go because of some wind. So you can see Bardiani's just stringing the field out because this is an incredibly technical circuit. And really, you want to be leading on the front here. You don't really want to be messing around at the back at all because the acceleration is just going to absolutely kill you. So you can see here around every corner, Bardiani are trying to stop anyone like dive bombing them, so they're taking the whole width of the corner, which is classic lead out work when there's a technical corner, so they're doing well. They're on the front, they're leading it out decently hard, but nothing absolutely mental, because Mateo Mohoric is like, right boys, I'm going, and the leader of this race is his teammate Bonifacio, and Bonifacio is right, you can go Mohoric, and Mohoric just is an absolute outstanding pursuiter, really. He's a good time trialist, but a very strong pursuiter. He also won a very similar race in GP Artigianato, where he also broke away on the downhill and soloed it all the way in. I made a great video on that, but unfortunately my channel got deleted, so no one can see it. But anyway, you can see he's on the front. The bunch is now starting to group up, because I think everyone's like, oh, Bardiani's got it. And Bardiani realised I think they're running out of men, because with 4k to go, they really just don't have enough blokes to actually lead this through. Mateo Mohoric is pedalling around every corner and really taking the best lines. At this moment in time, Bardiani seem to have it under control. Trek are trying to just basically play it cool. This is an outrageously sketchy corner. A lot of people come down on this corner, including Bonifacio's teammate. Look how sharp that corner is. Bonifacio goes down just then. Then they go through a gate. Some clueless people like standing next to him, no idea. There's a bit of a split in the peloton, but CCC managed to string it back together, which is pretty good. But you can see it's just an absolute crazy course, and it really does help if you're at the front. So Mateo Mohoric, he had a very good chance of staying away, to be honest. I really thought he would. Sorry for ruining it for you, but anyway, you can see him. Mateo Mohoric still doesn't have a great lead, but in the next couple of corners, he really rails them. I think Bardiani realised they basically ran out of men, because with 3.8k to go, they only got about 3 blokes on the front, and that's just nowhere near enough. I mean, obviously on more technical courses you need less riders, because there's less just riding on the front, there's more rest, but even so it's going to be hard. So you can see here, it gets strung back together. The whole peloton's back pretty much, save the people who crashes, but you can see it's completely strung out now. If you're at the back, there's no way you're getting to the front. So Mateo Mohoric is doing some very aggressive cornering, really kicking out those corners, just trying to get every single little advantage that he can. So this is the bit where he gets out of town and it's not as technical, but with 3.5k to go, there you can see Bonifacio is on the ground, and Cheerio, the man, is not going to be competing for the sprint, unfortunately. Looks like he really hurt himself. I think he did finish the stage, but just like 10 minutes down or 5 minutes down, something like that. So you can see we have Mateo Mohoric still there, still just dangling off the front. But around these corners, he really can just take them a lot more aggressively in the bunch. You'll see he pedals around the corner, and Bardiani people just coast around, don't pedal or anything. So yeah, look here, he really puts in a big dig. You can see he gained probably like 5 seconds just on that corner, and everyone else is pretty chilled out. You can see we've got a couple of Nipovini Fantini riders there, and like Trekker there, but no one's really helping. Bardiani are just, I don't know what they were doing. They sort of declared their hand a bit too early, because in reality, they should have tried to force it more on Bahrain Merida or another team, I guess, to chase. I mean, Bahrain and Merida were good because they had Mohoric up the road, but other teams, I really think, like Androni should have done a bit more chasing, and Trek, I don't know what they were doing, because in the end, you just had CCC Sprandi Polkovica sort of helping, and then Bardiani on the front, but not really controlling very well. Fortunately, we don't have many helicopter shots, so it's hard to tell exactly what's happening in the peloton, but you can see again around these corners, Mohoric is pedaling the whole time and really trying to be as aero as possible and just absolutely flying. And we zoom back to Bonifacio. Unfortunately, he's crashed, poor bloke. Probably would have won this stage, to be honest. But this stage, if you haven't seen the finale, it's very technical, goes around multiple corners, just like this circuit. So it really does help to be at the front, which I think is why Bardiani wanted to be on the front. Because if you launch at like 300 meters to go, there's actual curves in the sprint, so it's really hard to pass. So CCC, you can see, are now amassing with Astana just behind the GSF, Bardiani GSF riders. You can see Bonifacio, old Mohoric, has got a decent gap, but the problem is in a sprint, you just gain so quickly. When they start launching it at like 65 k's an hour, that gap was just going to go 65, 70 k's an hour. They're probably, you can look at his gearing, he's probably doing close to 50, 55 at the moment, probably pushing out 450, 500 watts in that super aero position with like optimized aero optimize all the stuff. So they pro riders always seem to go fast. Plus they don't have traffic lights and all the rest of it. But yeah, they're absolutely hooking it along. You can see still got a bottle on his bike, which is a bit odd. I thought he would have thrown it by now. But anyway, you can see we've got some aggressive, like some technical nature of this course. And watch this on the right-hand side of the peloton. You'll watch some guy goes flying and skidding out. So look, he goes around that corner too hot, brakes, and then skids out on his back wheel because he was, I don't know what he was doing. He just needs to control his bike a little bit better. He seemed like he just panicked and sort of grabbed his rear brake, unfortunately. But anyway, poor bloke crashed, but luckily no one else was taken down from the peloton. You can see again it's strung out around these corners. We're getting into the final bit of the town, 1k to go under the Flamme Rouge just about now, and you'll see that it gets even more hectic as we get into the city, and it's already been pretty hectic, but I just don't know why. Like, it's good fun to watch, but it looks so sketchy and horrible to race because it would just be so terrifying watching it. But you can see Bardiani is still leading out. Bardiani is doing a ridiculous job, but you can see they basically, the field's now been split again through that corner, and you can see we've got Nippo Fantini rider who's about third wheel, and he just decides to launch it now. I think it was Grosso, I believe it was. He was just like, right, I'm going. We get some beautiful arty picture here where you could see the Nippo Fantini rider was on the front. We then had Marco Minali, who's an Astana rider. You can see Grosso's like, right, I'm going. We've then got Nizzolo, who's the Trek rider, who's trying to chase down, is down as well. And we've also got the Bardiani leader, who's in the points classification jersey, I believe, who's chasing as well. But you can see this corner, if you go early, it's so hard to chase because there's no way you can lead that out. There were no teams left because Bardiani basically just split the peloton into like 1,000 pieces. And you can see Grosso's now just like, right, I'm going, boys. Minali for Astana is really trying to get back. Nizzolo is trying to get around him, but there's just no way he just left it too late because he just went so early. Around those corners, you can't really gain much speed. So there you go. Grosso, the big win for Nippo Fantini after 5 hours and 38 minutes of racing, which is pretty big. So we'll watch the helicopter shots now, and you'll be able to see that Grosso just goes early. And this sprint, it really does help to go early, just because there's so many corners that actually your sprint time is probably similar to like a dead-on 200-meter sprint or 250-meter sprint. But just because there's so many corners, you do the same time sprinting, but a lot of it is cornering. So you can just see all the rest of the peloton coming in, probably being like, phew, we didn't crash, because that was absolutely hectic gas. But you can see Grosso's just gone early. We then have Minali and all the rest of them trying to chase, but Grosso's just so far up the road already, around this corner. You can see he's got a good like 5 or 6 bike lengths, and then it's just really hard to make that up in such a short amount of time. But Minali does a good job. I'm surprised Nizzolo didn't manage to have a stronger sprint around him. I guess it's just such a tiring thing because there's so many corners, so every time you're kicking out up to probably 1,000 watts of all these guys out of every corner, which is just quite crazy. And they were closing on him, but Grosso had enough. So there we go, Tour of Croatia, Stage 2, absolutely hectic. One of the most crazy finishes I think I've ever seen in a race, and they do it every year as well, but they just love their technical and crazy races here. But anyway, cheers for watching, I'll see you in the next video.
Straight and my mouth is numb. Don't shut your